Hello everyone, Joe Morton here at the home office of Utah. Welcome wherever you are watching this around the world. This is a video message that's going out, and wherever you are, I greet you. And I hope your year of 2014 is kicking off to be great. Like my dad used to always say to me, and I pass it on to you, make it a great day, make it a great year, make it a great month. Great. Hey, I've had a lot of fun being around the world with you. Whoever's watching this, my brother Gordon was just in Taiwan doing meetings, as well as in Colombia and Minneapolis. I just had the opportunity to be with Grace and Chris and Art and their teams in Vancouver, which was wonderful. What a great event. Then off to Tokyo, had a great couple days of meetings there, and then over to Michigan with Ray and Mary and Janelle and that team. Gary and I helped kick the quarterlies off here in Salt Lake City earlier this month. It was wonderful. Beverly and Kent were just in Europe and CIS kicking the year off. Myself and Kent and Aaron will be in Mexico with close to 10,000. Actually, they're pushing for 10,000 people there. It's going to be an amazing event. So what are we doing at these events? What are we doing? We're recognizing in the Zalo compensation plan, as well as the Zango compensation plan, all the rank advancements. We're also talking about the art of promotion. We're talking about the basics of business building, the very basics of one-on-ones. You don't get a room, like we'll use Phoenix as an example. They're going to have a packed room. You don't get a packed room by just like that. You start with a lot of one-on-ones, building towards a home party of some sort of an event, which will build towards weekly or a monthly event of some sort, which will build towards the quarterly. That's the goal. We're talking about the products as well. We've had doctors joining us. Dr. Templeman, for example, was with me, Dr. Morton as well at some of these meetings, and Dr. Templeman with Aaron in Phoenix, educating on the products, particularly Zalo Ageless, Zalo Limitless, Zalo Ignite, and Zalo Reload. That's the focus. And of course, Mangosteen, always, always, always. Being a big part of the Zango Ageless, you're going to hear about that as well. Now, another point that I want to talk about today on this Giddy Up and Go with Joe, this video version of it, is this book right here, David and Goliath. If you remember last time when Dave Webb and I were here in my office around the holidays, I talked about 7 Habits of a Highly Effective Person by Stephen Covey. Love that book. We talked about that for a couple months. I encourage everyone to be reading a book every month. If you remember, I've introduced As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. I've introduced Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. I've introduced 7 Habits of a Highly Effective Person, particularly focusing on 2 of those habits. Begin with the end in mind, and then first things first, which is the action part. The vision, then the action part. Those are the 2 key points that I wanted to talk about. But this one, if you remember, I introduced this idea, this book. Why again? Because every day we need to feed our minds. My father used to teach us this growing up. He would joke and say, if we saw us watching something on TV or something that wasn't productive, he would say, garbage in, boys, garbage out. Garbage in, garbage out. But he'd say the opposite as well. Positive in, good out. It's the way our minds work. It's the way our bodies work. And so I encourage us all to work on a daily basis to feed our minds. We're feeding our bodies with our great products, feeding our bodies with hopefully good, healthy foods, exercising, keeping active, which we all encourage. But also, we need to feed our mind. So last month I introduced this book. Why did I introduce this book? David and Goliath by Malcolm Gladwell, an incredible author, by the way, of course, out of Ontario, Canada, which is wonderful, my home province. But why did I introduce this book? David and Goliath, Underdogs, Misfits, and the Art of Battling Giants. Because his point is this. In fact, I liked it so much, I made this quote and I put it in my planner that I look on a regular basis. He says, conventional wisdom holds that a disadvantage is something that ought to be avoided. That it is a setback or a difficulty that leaves you worse off than you would be otherwise. And he's saying, but that's not the case. We all have disadvantages. We all have weaknesses. We all have challenges. It's a part of life. But if we learn how to use those so-called, quote, disadvantages, we can turn those into advantages. We can turn those into strengths, turn those weaknesses into strengths. I love it. And so I like this because I've chosen this year. Although I've always had this as part of my makeup a little bit, and I have to thank my parents for kind of teaching us that principle, I've never focused on it the way I'm focusing on it now. I'm saying I'm going to take my weaknesses and turn them into strengths. I'm going to take my so-called disadvantages and turn them into strengths. And I recognize that it's okay that I have a disadvantage. It's okay that I have a, quote, disadvantage or a, quote, weakness. Because it's those things that help drive us to greatness. They help drive us to greatness if we let it. So I encourage you all to take, this is a top seller right now, and that's one of the reasons why I chose it as well. It's easy to get to on in any bookshelf right now. It's a top seller. It's his most recent book, and it's out there everywhere. I encourage you to get a copy, read this, and take note and say, hey, I'm going to stand up. I'm going to become great this year. Again, a reason we feed ourselves with good, positive every day. And so you might say, well, Joe, do you have any? Of course I do. We all have weaknesses. We all have, quote, disadvantages. One, I will just share with you, if it's okay, I don't think it's that personal, is I've never been a great reader. School didn't come super easy for me. I was one of those kids that had a wandering mind, a little more interested in the physical activities of sports and so forth. I wasn't a great reader, and as an adult, I've always used that as, that's my disadvantage, that's my weakness. I'm not a great reader, but I know how powerful it is. Of course I read, I do read, but do I read enough? I don't believe I read enough, because I know there's so much good out there that can feed my mind and help me recognize where I need to be in life and take me up another notch or 2 or 10 notches. And so I've chosen to take this supposed, what I've always labeled myself as a weakness, and turn it into a strength. And since I've done that, I'm on to 3 or 4 books this month alone. Almost finished another one. I'm reading it physically every day, but I'm also taking the chance to audibly listen. I do a lot of exercise, and so I'm able to listen to audio books now too. So between the reading part and the audio, I can pump out a couple books, whereas many people can read that. I'm not as quick to read, and that's okay, so I'm finding other ways. Find a way. When your passion will help find a way, passion will help find a way. And so I'm taking that chance to make my so-called weakness into a strength. I love this business. I thank you for being part of this business. We help people with products. We help people with a business and opportunity. We help people with personal development. And I'm going to throw in a fourth. We help feed hungry mouths. Thank you on behalf of all your efforts and Zango's efforts. We've donated over 5 million meals since the Meal Pack program started. It's getting close to 6 million meals. And right now, what we've got going here in the United States and Canada is we're going to donate a meal on behalf of every person who signs an application form and becomes a distributor. So if you signed up today, thank you. Congratulations on your behalf. We just sent a meal to a hungry mouth, to feed a hungry mouth because of your decision. So thank you. We help people with products. Do not hesitate to share the products. I love to get the emails that come in saying my life is completely different. I know you do too. Whether it be Zango Juice, whether it be Limitless or Zalo Ageless. I love to hear the testimonials. Jim Greiner stood up and talked about losing 45 pounds at the meeting I was just at in Michigan. Another gentleman stood up and said he lost 65 pounds through the Faveo program and the Zalo Ageless. Incredible. Do we have products that are changing lives? Absolutely. Do we have a business opportunity that's helping people? I talked about that basic level of nothing beats free. It allows a person to get their product for free right off the bat. Customer Connect, Power Starts, people driving their own dreams through the compensation plan, people making house payments, people paying for vacations of their dreams, people making crazy amounts of money, all different levels. And at the very least, learn how you can take advantage of the tax benefits of a home-based business. Most every country in the world offers this. I know for sure the United States and Canada does. And what an advantage it is. And then the personal development side, you see this. I believe if network marketing is done right, we become better people. They set goals, they achieve goals, they shoot for higher levels in life, they build themselves, they dream, they step out of their comfort zones. It's wonderful. And then, of course, the fourth way, feeding hungry mouths around the world. So thank you for being a part of Zango and the Zalo plan. Thank you for being a part of the dreams that are around the world. Thank you for helping people with better health, with a business opportunity, with personal development, and feeding hungry mouths. I wish you a great day. I don't just wish you a great day, make it a great day. It's up to us. So, my video version of Giddy Up and Go with Joe, make it a great day. Thank you.